Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Welcome to the All About TRH podcast, aka All About the Real Housewives, aka All About the Truth. It's been 5 years since former Real Housewives of New Jersey star Siggy Tells All opened up about her experience on New Jersey. And for the first time ever in this part 2 interview, Siggy doesn't hold back. She talks more on what happens behind the scenes and how production has protected Margaret Josephs. She touches on the end of her friendship of 25 years with Jen Fesler and talks about her experience with the cast when she filmed. Housewives act different towards you when you left the show?
I didn't see them, so I can't.
That's so interesting. So like you just stopped talking to them.
Yes, I had made a decision with my husband. My husband gave me, said, Siggy, this is it. And I knew that once I left the show, what am I, their whole life is based on filming.
Yeah.
When they're not filming, they're spending time with their family. And when they're, it's a hectic thing. And I said, listen, once I leave the show, I'm out. I'm out. And also, unselfish. I know it's going to sound weird, but I also did it for them. They have a job. Yeah. When you're outing production and you're taking a risk like me and speaking the truth, if I'm outing production and you're still working with production and they see, oh, so you still like Siggy Flicker? You're still hanging out with the rat who's outing us out? Okay. They're going to be afraid of what's going to happen to them in the editing room.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, so one connects with the other. So like I said, I'm a very strong person. I have a very strong family unit and I have a very strong friend unit. I mean, once I walked away, I walked away. But, from time to time, I have spoken to, a few of the housewives, and other housewives from other franchises have called me and they're like, man, you have balls. You have
balls. I remember your letter. It was like you literally called out Sirens Media and
100%.
You said it all on there. I mean, not what you're telling us. You're telling us stuff that I didn't even know about. But you did say like it was a very hostile environment.
I said it. I said it. And James Leonard submitted it. He goes, are you sure, Siggy? Are you sure? Yeah. And I said, yes. And I remember getting a phone call from Andy and he goes, I'm sad that you didn't have a good experience. And I'm going to say this because I don't want anybody to think that the production company and Bravo did everything under the sun to try to make me happy. There were phone calls daily, weekly. I was saying to them, I want this to be documented that I am being harassed by production. And I'm a strong girl. I was born in a bomb shelter during the 6-Day War. I am not I'm afraid. That's not me.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight with anybody, but if I have to fight, let me just tell you something. I'm walking out of there, I'm giving it my all. My problem was always with 3-4 producers who were having dinner and hanging out with certain housewives, and no one would call them out on it because they were afraid that it would affect their edit. I was like, screw this.
Yeah.
And
that would drive me crazy. That would drive me bonkers.
Drive me crazy because I'm like a righteous, like I'm like I have a bit. One of my flaws, my ego, and I was like, no way, I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not going to let this happen. And Bravo did everything in their power to try to fix it. They were wonderful. You are not giving any housewife a chance to be her authentic self when the production plays favorites. And for what?
Yeah.
For what? An old used up what? An unset what?
Yeah.
I mean, all somebody had to do was see the inside of her house. I mean, her slobbo. No, I mean, when we were filming, I never even went in there, but it was just Oh my God, the decor, the taste. It's like, come on, guys, stop it. No one's buying this. Maybe certain executives are buying it, but not we, the people are not buying it.
Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was just in Charleston setting up my daughter, and we were at the Golden Goose store. 6 people in the Golden Goose store on King Street in Charleston. 6. My daughter's like, Mom, is this ever going to stop? It's 8 years now. Came over to me. Hi, I want to give you a hug. I said, I'm a hugger. Let's go.
Right.
And he said, Siggy, you are not my favorite.
Yeah.
Like Teresa Judah. Every person comes over to me and says, please send Teresa Judice our love. We got it. We know she's getting a bad edit. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is, bravo. People, we the people out there, they understand what's going on. You're either going to make it fair and square, or there's no use in having the show because it's edited, and the editing is not falling fair to your number one.
It shows that Teresa is so strong that it hasn't broken her yet. Like to say like I'm gone, bye. Like she's still there. She's still there with them playing their games
which
too.
is hard. I feel like I would leave. I feel like I'd be like this. It is too much for me. But I mean, everyone's different, and I just feel like she's like so old school that she like forgets things real quick, and she's like, whatever. This is how people are supposed to be.
But that's the most unbelievable thing about her. So let me tell you another secret about Teresa.
Yeah.
Teresa used to call me up and say, Siggy, why do you let it affect it so much?
Yeah.
Why? I said, Teresa, I don't care. These producers are not getting away with it. They could call me soggy. They could do whatever I don't care.
Yeah.
I am standing up to them. And she said to me, do you know that Teresa, up until recently, never watched the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, she never. I would be cracking up. I'm like, Teresa, no, you never. She goes, no. She recently started watching the show.
I still don't think she even watches it now.
But, well, you could ask her that, but I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm like, you don't watch it? She goes, no, I don't watch it because I know what they're gonna like. That's what kept her in the game so long. Yeah. You see, when you watch the show and you say, wait a second, they're using that. I never said that. Like everybody was like, oh, Siggy, when you laid down on the floor and said, that's all I ever wanted. We had to do that scene 15 times. Producers are like,
oh my God.
Guys, the scene between you guys is so boring that we're about to wrap up and go home. And I'm like, okay, I'll take one for the team. I laid down on the floor. Then afterwards, you know what Melissa and I did in my kitchen in Tenafly, New Jersey? We had chip sauce and guacamole. I mean, come on. I never had any beef with Melissa. What I could say to you about Melissa is she is the most professional housewife. So what do I mean by that?
If you've been struggling with dry lips, I have the solution for you. I've been on the hunt for a pain-free lip plumper and finally found one that plumps and hydrates my lips. As I've aged, I've noticed my lips have gotten thinner and dry, but with City Lips by City Beauty, I've discovered a solution that not only restores moisture and plumpness, but also smooths away smoker lines. I don't know about you, but when I use lip plumpers, they can be so painful and irritating. That's why I switched to City Lips. It gives me the plumpness I want without the discomfort. Some really awesome benefits is it has gentle formula, free from irritants or harsh chemicals, and it just provides an immediate and long-term plumping effect. It also smooths out the appearance of lip lines and wrinkles. What I love most about City Lips is the fact that it's been my solve for dry chapped lips. Nothing feels better than having hydrated lips. And the biggest bonus is it gives you a full plump lip, and it even has a 60-day money-back guarantee policy. If you want fuller and plumper lips with City Lips, shop citybeauty.com and get 15% off site-wide with code TRH.
Melissa.
That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable.
Shows up, she films, she goes home, and she doesn't have anything else to do with it. She's not on the phone. She's not doing research. She's not. No, that's not her. That's not her. And the problem is Teresa always wanted to have, and this is just my opinion. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty good at this. Teresa always wanted to have some sort of relationship with her sister-in-law, and they tried, and Melissa tried, and Teresa tried. But here's where the problem is. Melissa has three beautiful, wonderful sisters,
Yep.
and she is a very two.
Two
I'm sorry,
sisters.
two.
Yeah.
So the three of them, I'm saying they're like three. The three
Three
Charlie's
amigos. Yeah.
the three amigos, and they have a wonderful relationship. And Melissa comes from a wonderful family. I met her mother; she was lovely. The whole family is just lovely, and I think that when you have two other girls who are your sisters and your blood, and you're so close with them, you only have so much time to have other relationships, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe Teresa wanted to have a relationship, and I don't think Melissa was as interested in having a relationship with Teresa as much as Teresa hoped when she came back and out of jail. She
Yeah.
hoped. And that's where a lot of the resentment comes from. It's long, it's deep. And Joey and Melissa, I mean, Joey loves his wife. Melissa's number one to Joe. He's in love with his wife. He isn't leaving his wife, not for his sister, not for anybody. But with Joey is he's got a great personality and a wonderful relationship with Teresa. But when, when the going gets tough, you're going to side with your wife. She is the mother of your
Yeah, of
children. She's
course.
the love of your life. And that's unfortunate. And it's very sad that the family is where it is today.
Yeah, I get that. I'm going to have to disagree with you about Melissa's family, but I know that you met them on a
Oh,
personal level. And
oh
so
no, no.
maybe
Okay,
it's a
so
little
you went.
different.
I'm
Yeah.
saying I've seen her when we're filming or her relationship with her sisters, and
Right. I'm sure it's sweet. Yeah.
it was always sweet. But I never hung out with Melissa. I never went out with her sisters. I was always with Teresa. I was always on the Teresa side because the
Yeah.
minute Teresa and I were planning a birthday party for Dolores in 2015, um, we hit it off, and
Yeah.
I love people who can make me laugh. She's no drama. She's fun all day. She's just
Yeah.
a fun person to be around. And, everything goes with her. She's just fun. I just love, we click. It's all about chemistry. We just clicked from day one.
Yeah, you guys both have good
Absolutely.
energies.
We just laugh.
Yeah.
We'd be sitting in the car, and Dolores and I would like we'd be sitting in the car cracking on Teresa, and Teresa would be laughing. She just doesn't take anything seriously. She's so much fun. And me and Dolores, I mean, Dolores had me laughing so hard everywhere we went. Where I remember once I actually peed my pants from
I'm
Dolores.
dying. Oh my
We
gosh.
I'm like, Dolores, get me to the bathroom right now. Get me, Dolores, I'm gonna pee. I mean, we had such good times. There was such love and laughter there. And I'm telling you, if producers would only leave us alone and let me do what I needed to do, it would have been great. You wouldn't have red flagged my husband. You wouldn't have red flagged the children. But no, you bet on the wrong horse. You
Right.
bet on a dying
Yeah.
horse that's got nada,
Yeah.
nada. Nobody's daughter says, I want to grow up and be like Margaret Joseph.
No.
It doesn't happen.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
No,
Far from
thank
that.
you. No,
For
thank you.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, I have a big question. Okay. So we find out that Jen Fesler and you were tight. And
Very. Very.
Okay. So I looked at your Instagram and I saw that over a year ago, you shared that your best friend of 25 years bought you these sunglasses, referring to Jen Fesler.
Yes.
And in there, you wrote, love our friendship. You can't buy friendship.
That's
and
right.
then Jen Fesler, she pretty much denies being your friend. We later hear she texted you and apologized.
Yes.
But how did that feel? Because I mean, literally over a year ago, she's buying you these sunglasses. You're talking about your 25-year friendship.
Listen,
Yeah.
Jen Fesler and I had a 25-year long love affair friendship. When I say love affair, not lesbian love, I'm talking about she was my sunshine. Sunshine for 25 years. There is no one that she was like, my connection with Dolores on the show, my connection with Jennifer throughout our lives. My family loves her. My sister and her are still best friends. I love her children. I love her husband. I love her family. I have nothing bad to say about Jen Fesler. I try to bring her on the show. So in um, um, the last season that I was on for 2 seasons, when we were going to Melissa and Joe's Italian restaurant, the meatball place.
Yeah.
And everybody was saying how rude I was because I wasn't going to the back of the room to say hi to Margaret's mother. And I'm thinking to myself, are these people that dumb? I don't get along with a girl. Why would I want to meet her mother? I mean, the whole
Right.
storyline was like so dumb. I'm like,
Yeah.
how the hell do you guys make up this shit?
Yeah.
Why would I, Siggy Flicker, go to the back of the room to meet some girl I can't stand? I'm going to meet her beautiful mom. Well, by the way, I think she's a beautiful woman. And, whatever. I didn't mean any disrespect. Why would I want to meet you? I'm not friends with your daughter, and I will never be friends with your daughter. So what do I need to meet you for? Anyway, I brought Jen to that thing. And at that time, I introduced her to the producers. They mic'd her. She was there with me. We have
Oh, wow.
pictures, me, Jen, and Melissa being at that thing. So Jen Fesler wanting to be on the show. I mean, I love it. I don't.
Well, so why
did
did she say that? Like, why would she say that?
Why would she say that? It's called what people do for a job. I don't know. I mean, if you
Yeah.
want to be on Housewives and the production company does not like Siggy Flicker,
Yeah.
she outed them, and you want to be on the show. Now, Margaret thinking she's going to bring Jen on the show is going to hurt me. That backfired because I think Jen's fun.
Yeah,
Jen's fun.
she's
I
and she's
love her on the
hilarious.
show. I do.
Mhm.
She's very
Hilarious.
funny. Yeah.
She's
So
hilarious.
to think that, and when my sister called me, she's like, Siggy, Jen wants you to know that they're editing something that she said that I was never friends with her for 2 minutes. And then I said, Iris, Jen and I's relationship came to an end, not because of a fight. It's just the relationship ended. I was heading in a different place in my life, and it just went a different way. I just saw Jen last weekend at my nephew's bar mitzvah. We hugged. She looked gorgeous. I don't have any ill feelings. Sometimes in life, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. She's not in my life for a lifetime. She was there for a reason. We got through a lot of hard times together. We have history together. I adore her entire family. I love her children like they were mine. I would do anything for her children. There's nothing. I said to Iris, tell Jen not to worry about it. If she needs to badmouth Siggy Flicker on the show, tell her she's got my permission, Iris. Iris goes, okay, whatever. I just want you to know that she doesn't want you to think that she's talking about her. The next thing I know, I'm shopping, and all of a sudden I get a beautiful text from Jen saying, Siggy, I know that Iris told you, and I know that you don't care, but I want you to know that I would never, ever say. I called Bravo. I complained about it. They completely took what I said about somebody else and used it and edited it to say it about you. Obviously, we were not friends for 2.5 seconds. I mean, it's all in a text message that she sent me. And I said, Jen, I hope that you have a different experience than me. I couldn't wait to leave the swamp, and I hope that the swamp works for you. I
Yeah.
love you, and please send my love to the children. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, I mean, and like I said, I literally looked up both of your guys' Instagram. I saw that you guys really it was like a real friendship. So that's why I was just very, very
Oh
shocked.
no, we lived together 25 years ago. Her sister,
Oh my
my
gosh.
sister. Yeah, all four of us lived together in Manhattan. Jen and I traveled together. Jen and I were BFF. And I got to tell you something. I mean, at the end of the day, she's fun. And, you know, listen, I wish that I could find one negative thing. I can't. I mean, we've been through hell and back. As a matter of fact, when I first got divorced and I came here from Florida, and it was Jennifer that introduced me to Michael Campanella.
Jennifer.
Wow.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yes,
Okay,
it
wow.
was Jennifer that was with me through all the hard years of my life getting divorced from my first marriage. It was Jennifer that wanted to open up her doors and have me and my children live with her when I was
Aw.
going through the worst times of my life. It was Jennifer that when my aunt and uncle came from Israel, and they had, I mean, I was living in a studio apartment, and it was Jennifer that took my aunt Eliza and Uncle Shimon and said, you could stay in my house in Upper Saddle River. It was
Yeah.
Jennifer that's still friends with my sister. I mean, I don't have anything in my head that I could possibly say or even make up and say. So if Jennifer wants to be on the show, then I wish her nothing but health and happiness and a different experience than me.
Yeah, I love that you're being so positive about it.
Yeah, about
And
a
you're not
friendship.
really taking it personal or anything.
Not
You
at
guys are
all.
just going two different ways. And I think that says a lot
Not at all.
about
And
you.
I
Yeah.
know what the producers would want her to do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I know that it's all BS behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah. No, I totally get it. Now, do you believe that Margaret and Melissa are actually loyal friends to each other? Do you believe that friendship is real?
no.
No, you don't.
No, I
Because they're
don't think
so different from each other.
not only are they different, you have to understand something about Melissa. She doesn't care.
Yeah. She doesn't care about
Interesting.
what, though?
Interesting.
Yeah,
She's not
because
doesn't care.
I think the opposite. I think she like cares so much. She's constantly on social media trying to change the narrative a little bit.
Yes.
So
Okay. So Melissa cares about the show. Melissa cares about Joey, her children, her sisters. There's only a certain amount of friends that Melissa has, and that's all. Everything else is a job.
yeah.
So do you think that if the show didn't exist tomorrow, that Margaret and Melissa would be friends? Melissa knows that Margaret has pull with the producers. She knows when you're on that show, you're going to say, okay, who's my ride or die on the show? You got to start like planning out who you need it for your job. So if I'm working at a studio, if I'm working for a company, I got to go in there and make friends with certain people who are going to have my back in case I show up. You have to start. It's like a chess game. So so
and she plays it so well. She plays it so good.
Yeah, she does know how to play the game.
She knows how to play the game, and I told you she's very professional. She was very professional, and I have to say, like one time she called me up and there was a thing, Melissa's against Siggy, and and I'm like, oh, okay, you want to fight? Let's fight. So she, I like let's go, let's do it. But she's always been the kind of person. She'll call and say, Sig, listen, I don't understand this. And we talk it out and then it's over.
Yeah,
and
she gets in front of it. She does get in front of it.
She gets in front of it. She's very, when I say professional, it's a compliment to her because she takes it as a job and she doesn't take it seriously. So when I say seriously, somebody who's, takes it to heart. Like when I came on the show, I took it to heart. I'm like, okay, this is going to be real. This is a real. I didn't know about all that shit that they're doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Melissa doesn't take it to heart. So Margaret is her friend on the show. She needs Margaret more than Margaret needs her because Margaret has ties to production and she needs people on her side who will go up against Teresa.
Yeah.
It's a chess game.
Are you friends with Margaret's ex-best friend, Laura Lee Jensen? Have you heard of her or were you ever friends with her? Okay, so you don't know her. Because I was wondering, because she came out and she exposed Margaret. They were friends for 40 years. So I wasn't sure if you had ever met her.
Yeah, but wait, I don't know anything about her. I don't even know who she is. But isn't it interesting how you have somebody like that, but production wouldn't go and like, why not have her on the show as a friend of the show?
Yeah.
Like, do you understand? You just pointed out something. I've never met her, but I'm saying here you have Jen Fesler, who I only have a positive experience with, who's fun and funny and amazing and only been good to me and my entire family. But Margaret, she's friends supposedly. Ride or die BFF. They met each other like 9 months ago, but whatever you want to call it, BFF for life. They're friends, but you wouldn't have somebody else with somebody who was friends with Margaret for 40 years who doesn't have the greatest things to say about her. It just goes to show my point, how two-sided, how this is a two-tiered system that only works for certain people. How to play the game, and by the way, they know how to get the fans. They know exactly what to say to the fans because it's nothing that these people do is authentic. Teresa's authentic, Jacqueline's authentic, Dolores is authentic, and even that one Jen Aiden. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I met Jen Aiden years ago through Serena, who used to own she used to do all the beautiful events and the invitations and stuff like that. And I met her because she came to a grand opening for Serena's new store that opened up in Cresskill. I don't know if it's still there. And I said, wow, this girl's a riot. This girl says it like it is.
You guys would get along. Yeah, you guys would get along. A good little show.
And that was the first time and the last time I met her. But I said to Serena, What? She should be a housewife. She's hysterical. She
Yeah.
says it like it is. She has no fear. I mean, another one, I thought that was great casting, but I'm just saying, here you go. How one-sided it is. How one-sided it is. But
So
listen,
true.
it keeps on backfiring on them. You know what you do? You take a dead fish and you try to prop it up and put some lipstick on it, maybe put a tutu on it. It's still a dead fish. It
Yeah.
ain't going anywhere. No
Yeah.
one can. And the funny thing is, I sometimes keep quiet and I just listen. And my friends will call me up and they'll talk at St. Andrew's Country Club and all the country clubs here. All the girls got together and they all talk. Nada, no one. Every time I hear, they're like, they don't understand the casting. They're like, why is this? They don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't understand. What the hell is she doing? Like, who cares? Boring. Next.
I think they think with Margaret, she just kind of brings it because she puts all of everyone else's business out there. So that's why they're like, we like the messy in her.
Okay.
But
well,
it goes too far.
No. Not only they like the messy in that, but I want those same people to think that when you're creating a show and you have one person who's going to go into your past. Now, everybody has a past. Everybody has a past. I want you to think of the character of the person who will actually do it to harm your family. So when you're sitting there in your dorm room or wherever you are watching the show, you're saying, oh my God, look at these idiots. Thank God it's not me. Or look at these jackasses. But I want you to think of how hurtful it is. There's a line that shouldn't ever be crossed. And that is the line that she continues to cross and get a free, like, oh, it's okay, like a free check. Like the fact that she gets a platform and she keeps on crossing this disgusting line. Think of the character. Would you want that person sitting at your dinner table?
Absolutely
No
not.
way. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, it's a show for everybody else. But for the other girls who are actually living their life on air, it's very hurtful and it causes a lot of trouble within the family unit.
Yeah. And we've seen that happen, that it caused so much issues for everyone else. And she kind of is just, like she does whatever. I mean, she called Jennifer Aiden a drug addict and nothing happened. If that was any other franchise, there would be some consequence. And she called her a drug addict and literally, a mom of five kids. She called her a drug addict and it was like swept under the rug. And I was shocked by that.
Right. Now think about this, if on another housewife show, if you were to reference the LGBT community or you were to reference, the KKK, that would have been on the front pages of the New York Times.
Yeah.
But here on Jersey Housewives, it doesn't matter. Everything is a go with this girl. She could do whatever she wants and everything is a go. And here's a mother. How many kids does Jen Aiden have?
5.
Yeah.
So she has got 5 kids and then she's got to go around and somebody who might just come home and just hear that soundbite is now looking at her with thinking, oh, that girl, I heard that she was a drug addict. That's not right to do. That's not right to do. That's crossing line. But at the end of the day, she don't care.
Exactly.
She don't care.
Yeah. That's
because what has she got to lose?
Right.
Her husband, who's a fabulous guy. Like I said, a fabulous plumber. She cheated on her first husband with the plumber, and he can't clean out the pipes. So what has she got? What has she got going on?
Yeah, no, trust me, we're with you. We say that all the time. So no, we agree with that completely.
Yeah. Where the hell is she going? She's like, it's like hitting a brick wall. She's running and hitting a brick wall. Where does she got to go? Yeah. It's already played out to step it up and give the viewer what the viewer wants. And that is authenticity.
Yeah.
They want the Teresa Giudices out there because they pour their heart and soul and they give it their all. And at the end of the day, they go back to their lives. And don't forget, she's got 4 kids.
Yeah.
And I think it's just sad all the way around how certain people get portrayed and certain people get a free pass. Yeah. And that's why I decided after 8 years or 7 years to come out and finally say, listen, it's time for the truth. Like enough is enough.
Yeah.
Every day somebody says, oh, another season. She's bringing up your name again. And I'm like, wait a second. Do they not have any storylines that they keep on bringing up Soggy Siggy?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Iconic.
I'm not that interested. Listen, I love myself, but I'm not that interesting. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. So
We're so glad you did. We're so glad that you wanted to talk about it.
I know.
well,
I'm so happy. Well, I mean, like I did. I was like, can you like please talk to us? I think this will be so interesting. Now,
yeah,
I have one last question. Is there
yeah.
anything else that you could tell us that would shock viewers about your experience or just anything related to the show?
Well, I told you guys that, the witch reached out to my husband's
Yeah, which
ex-wife,
is
which,
crazy.
which is thank God that I'm one of the smartest Jews around, that I pulled the rug before it could harm my family,
Yeah.
and nothing to hide, but my children are my life. All four of my kids, my stepchildren are my children. I'm responsible for them financially, physically, emotionally. I love them to death. They are, amazing, amazing children, and I'm grateful to have them. That could have been a very, very harmful, negative, tragic thing for them. And I pulled the rug. So, the
And it
fact that
proves Margaret has an arsenal on everybody and tries to. Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
but wait. I'm not going to say, but I want you to use, because you both are very smart. Who do you think supplies her with the arsenal?
Production.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
And I think she does want to please them. So I do think that production, like,
because why? Because
yeah,
why?
so she could,
Because
have this
because
job and
it's
everything.
all phony.
Yeah.
Some of the housewives that you think are so wealthy don't have a pot to piss in. They rely on these salaries so they can maintain the lifestyle that they
Yeah.
don't have if
Oh,
they're
for
not on the
sure.
show.
Yeah.
There
We
are
get that.
some who have money and there are some who don't. But I'm
Yeah.
saying at the end of the day, do you pretty much get the point. You want to stay on the show and make your salary, which, by the way, if anybody ever knew what the salaries were, you guys would laugh in somebody's faces. This is what you do for fame and fortune. But anyway, that's a whole
Yeah.
nother thing. Um, at the end of the day, is it really worth it? Like
Yeah.
when I left the show, people were like, "Do you miss it?" I'm like, "Wait, guys, you can't be that dumb. No, seriously.
Yeah.
I was on for 2 seasons. I already have the fame. People already recognize me. So that took care of the ego part. And I've got the fortune. I've got a husband who provides very well. And he said to me, Siggy, honey, you are to stay home and be the CEO of our household. And anything that you want to do, I will give you 3 times the amount just to be my wife and the mother to our children.
Yeah.
I don't need it. So what would be in it for me?
Yeah,
Nothing.
you never made the show your life, and a lot of the housewives come on from any of the seasons, they do that. So when if they get fired or they leave, they have like an identity crisis. And I think that didn't
Exactly.
happen to you. Yeah.
No, but you have to, even if Housewives was your show, and I have to use Bethany Frankel as an example. Here's a brilliant businesswoman. She made New York. She was New York, Bethany
Yep.
Frankel, whether you like her or not. She was, she gave the show her all. She went on and filmed and didn't give a rat's ass what anybody thought. And when they needed her to up it up, she upped it up. She did whatever she did authentic. She's authentically who she is, whether you like her
Yeah.
or not. But here's a woman who's got the smarts to say, wait a second, I'm going to use this platform, and I don't need the show anymore for a platform. And that was brilliant. It was a brilliant move. And you have to be that smart, like Elisa Vanderpump. When I met her, I sat and talked to her, in her restaurant in LA. Here's a woman who owns restaurants, who's still part of the Bravo. But I'm just saying, they have something. They have something. They have a foundation. A lot of these housewives, once they're off the show, they don't have a business. They
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
have a foundation. What are they going to do? They
Tamra.
go,
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Tamra from Orange
right.
County.
They don't
Yeah.
have anything. So they have to up it up on the show and be the loudest.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
have to be the witchiest, because they've got to show Bravo, I'm going to keep my place on the show, because they're desperado. They're
Yeah.
desperado.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. And we come, trust me, we're on this podcast. That's exactly what we say. And that's why we do appreciate the people who aren't that desperate and who do have things going on outside of it. But I am just so glad that we were able to talk to you. We had so many questions coming in for you. So I know you haven't spoken in years. And again, we reached out to you. So I am so glad that you were able to speak to us. And I think you said a lot of great things that are going to open a lot of people's eyes and prove a lot of what, certain sides have said. So,
yeah, but just
we
remember, at the end of
appreciate
the
it.
day, I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys. It's the first time I've spoken out. I'm probably not going to speak about it again, because between you and I I'm not an obsessed, housewife.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's the first time I opened up and I talked, and it's great, and it's going to open up a lot of minds. But at the end of the day, it's not about convincing anybody, because the people who get it, and the people who don't, people who don't. We're talking about the show that just aired. You don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of messages I got. Siggy, episode 2, they're bringing up your name. Do you know somebody by the name of Jen? And I'm like, yeah, I love Jen. Why? Teresa called me up months prior and said, oh my God, they're going to interview, this girl, Jen. I'm like, Teresa, that's good. Yeah. Teresa has what I wrote about it. I said, Teresa, she's fun. Yeah. You don't have to worry about Jen. Jen doesn't have an evil bone in her body. She's not an evil person. She doesn't, she's just whatever. She deserves it. Let her do it. And it's just the people who get it, and the people who don't. So I appreciate that you two do what you do to try to get the truth out there, or a different opinion out there.
Yeah.
And I hope that it's a successful podcast and it brings you
No, this was amazing. Like, this was great. Like, I'm like laughing in my head half the time. I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, no,
and if you guys are ever in Boca, come visit me. I'll take you
out dinner. That is so sweet. Thank you
so much.
If you're ever in Michigan, you can
here.
Oh, and you're in Michigan?
We're in Michigan, yeah.
Oh, love Michigan.
Wow. Good.
Love. Yes. A lot of my nieces go to University of Michigan. Greatest school. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And Teresa's daughter's going there too.
I know. Gabriella. She's a bright one. She's such a beautiful soul.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Siggy.
Thank you so much, Siggy.
Ladies. Thank you
Best
for
of
doing
luck.
This with us.
God bless.
Thank you. Yeah, God bless you.
Thank
you.
Okay, bye. Be sure to check out allabouttrh.com for everything Real Housewives and Bravo TV. And please make sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at allabouttrh podcast.
When it comes to weight loss, no two people are the same. That's why Noom builds personalized plans based on your unique psychology and biology. Take Brittany. After years of unsustainable diets, Noom helped her lose 20 pounds and keep it off.
I was definitely in a yo-yo cycle for years of just losing weight, gaining weight, and it was exhausting.
And Stephanie. She's a former D1 athlete who knew she couldn't outtrain her diet, and she lost 38 pounds.
My relationship to food before Noom was never consistent.
And Evan, he can't stand salads, but he still lost 50 pounds with Noom.
I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. Even through the pickiness, Noom taught me that building better habits builds a healthier lifestyle. I'm not doing this to get to a number. I'm doing this to feel better.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom users compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.